back to Escape from New York from 1981, directed by John Carpenter. There are a few recognizable actors in the movie. Well, I guess the entire cast is pretty well known to some extent. Yeah. Okay, so the movie takes place in 1988 as the crime rate has risen to 400% as the state of New York becomes America's state penitentiary, not like a prison, as narrated by this woman. And now we are currently fast forwarded to 1997, current day, where the movie will actually take place in. And now we are in a war zone like territory, New York, and now we just see some normal activity and surveillance, and with three guys escaping New York on a life raft, but they eventually get killed. And we see this guy working for the law here, Remy, played by Tom Atkins. And instead of the SWAT team here, or the FBI, or whatever law enforcement they usually have in the real world, we got LISC this time. Liberty Island Security Control this time. And we are inside the LISC penitentiary where we see more prisoners being delivered, especially the main protagonist, Snake Plissken, played by Kurt Russell. Pretty well-known actor with a lot of known movies. As he enters the debarkation area, he is stopped by a LISC agent here. So back outside, we see a limo entering as we see the main LISC agent here, Bob Hawk, with a U, played by Lee Van Cleef. Known Western cowboy actor, mainly villainous roles, and I think this is one of the few movies actually done where he isn't wearing a cowboy uniform or playing a bad guy, or even a Western in general. So Hawk speaks with Remy, bringing up some issues nearby with a David 14, which is an incoming aircraft threat headed here since LISC is at war against the National Liberation Front of America, as stated by the pilot here. And of course, she has gone crazy as a Secret Service agent is trying to break the door open with the president inside here as well, played by Donald Pleasance, another known actor. You've seen him in James Bond, you've seen him in The Great Escape, you've seen him in a bunch of old classic movies, which you probably never heard of. It's okay. So the United States president handcuffs himself to this vital briefcase and gets himself to the escape pod and uses it to escape the plane, which, since the woman driving the plane's threat and sees that the plane has crashed into this building, leaving the president as the only sole survivor. And now the LISC helicopters are being taken off, and some of these have now landed in the broken down area, and we see all these LISC agents invading the space, and Hawk is there too, and locates the president's escape pod. And Hawk hears some laughing in the distance, and we get this short guy with a cut off finger with a ring. And yes, it is the president's cut off finger. At least I think it is. And the short guy's name is Romero, played by Frank Doubleday, and just counts down while threatening to kill the president until Hawk and the LISC agents leave. Now Remy answers the phone from the vice president asking about how the president will be rescued, and now we see Hawk loading up a gun as the LISC agents are here to send in the criminal protagonist, Snake Plissken. Believe it or not, Charles Bronson was offered the role of Snake Plissken initially before Kurt Russell, but I don't know the exact reason why he declined that role or refused to play Snake Plissken, according to some sources. As far as I know from third-party websites, the director John Carpenter thought Bronson looked too dangerous or too old. I don't know, I can't really find the exact reason why, but I kind of do agree with him there. He does look dangerous. More dangerous than Kurt Russell. I think we all know that. But it would have been great if he was Snake Plissken, and would have been a huge boost in his acting career in the 80s as well. But he chose not to do that. He's refused many good movies. I don't know why he did that, but what's done is done. It happens. So Hawk, the LISC police commissioner, starts listing down Snake's history and tells him that all of his crimes have been pardoned for now, and that his job is to rescue the president of the United States in under 24 hours. But Plissken doesn't want to, as he smokes a cigarette casually, since he's got experience of doing hard jobs like these, such as rescuing. And as Remy presents the mission with all the displayed weapons, he also says to avoid the Night Raiders, which are weird creatures he has to avoid to get to the president. But so now the only way Snake is able to get inside to get to the president is to first land on top of the World Trade Center in New York. I'm sure you guys know where that is. And he gets a homing device as well as a visit to the lab to pick up an antitoxin, which is all part of the mission. So he is asked to take off his jacket, and Houck gives Snake a timer of 22 hours and 59 minutes, but he had 24 hours initially, but I guess he wasted some time there. But Houck states that the summit meeting will be over in 22 hours, so that means 24 hours is never the initial time. He has 22 hours instead, as China and the Soviet Union will go home and the president's briefcase with a voice recording that needs to be delivered to Hartford, which is a city in Connecticut. So Snake gets injected with the antitoxin into both sides of his neck, and now the doctor wants Houck to tell Snake that he pretty much has a bomb planted inside him. I guess as a way for Snake to do the job despite not wanting to do it, and threaten, and as a threat, if he doesn't do the job, he will get blown up in 22 hours. And gets pissed off and gets a hold of Houck, and now Snake has wasted 2 minutes as Houck says that the bomb charge can be reversed when the job is done, which is to rescue the president. But if he is late or doesn't complete the job, he will be blown up past the 22-hour mark.
I'm a little late. No more Hartford Summit, and no more Snake Plissken.
So Houck says that the Gulfire is ready for him, which is the plane he will be taking to the World Trade Center. And yeah, it's a pretty tiny plane from the looks of it, and now 21 hours are remaining for the president's rescue. And now he's taking off to save the president as another hour has gone by as we see this plane entering downtown New York, and as Houck asks what he sees on the screens in the plane.
Plissken, what are you doing?
Playing with myself. I'm going in.
And we see the weirdest landing ever with a grappling hook straight onto the concrete ground on top of the roof by stopping near the edge of the World Trade Center, or near the edge of the World Trade Center. So Snake walks on the roof and goes straight to the power box and rearranges 2 wires and takes the elevator and contacts back Houck. Now that Snake is inside, he's got 19 hours left and has to take the stairwell to go outside, and looks like he's back outside with a gun in his hand. And we also see the plane the president was on all crash, and calls back Houck that he's located the plane and tells him that no one made it. So yeah, we already knew that the president was the only one that remained alive from that plane. And now Snake takes out the homing device and sees the president's pulse, and now checks the time with 18 hours and 50 minutes left. As the president's pulse is flashing, Snake is just following it as he walks through more destructive land. Kind of looks like that movie from the 70s. I don't know if you ever heard. It's called The Omega Man with Charlton Heston. It's okay movie. It's nothing special, but it's kind of like this, but that takes place in San Francisco. But as Snake walks inside the old Manhattan Melodies house, and we see a small singing group. They're not that known. The Velvets. So Snake looks around the Melody house, and we see one of those creatures that Houck was mentioning, a Night Raider. And he goes inside and sees a bunch of lazy Night Raiders, and we see this high school play-like musical happening here. Yeah, pretty creepy shit here. And we also see the main Night Raider, Cabby, played by Ernest Borgnine, another well-known actor from a bunch of old movies before the 2000s. Pretty prominent. I think he died in 2012 or 2021. I don't know. Don't know much about him. And we see Snake Plissken just charging in, walks past Cabby and goes straight to the next room and sees the basement. And suddenly from behind, Cabby shows up.
Hey, you're Snake Plissken, ain't you?
Cabby warns Snake to not go down there, and we see some more Night Raiders, and we see this hobo, but it was all planned to attack Snake from behind, and now the hobo is scared. And now we see another Night Raider stabbing into the president. And what's weird is that the Night Raider is smart to know that the homing device is what is needed to locate the president.
Mr. President.
I'm the president.
So he didn't really know it was a homing device, just put it on for fun. So Snake contacts Houck again to tell him that the president's dead after seeing this Night Raider wearing the homing device. So Houck tells him to try harder and tells Snake to go back looking. So Snake goes back to the president's escape pod and sits down to think and sees a Night Raider look and sees a Night Raider looking lost and runs towards him and sees the sewage opening up and spots more Night Raiders coming from the back. And what's weird is none of them are attacking Snake, they're just running past him. So Snake hides in his abandoned restaurant, and this woman scares him from behind, and we meet this girl played by Season Hubley. Kurt Russell's former wife, by the way, or ex-wife. She has no name in the movie as far as I know. He never mentioned a name, but maybe just there for Snake asks her if she knows anything about the plane crash. And apparently Snake Plissken is that famous that even she recognizes him and tells her that the president is nearby. And now she tries to kiss him, and now they hear some shooting. And the Night Raiders start breaking through the floor as the girl slips through the floor too. So he traps himself here. That's gotta hurt. And now shoots through the wall and escapes, and looks like he broke the homing device to locate the president. And just keeps running until he sees Cabby, and yeah, he does drive Cab. He can tell by his name there. Cabby takes out a glass Molotov cocktail and throws it at the Night Raiders, and as Cabby drives, he says he knows everything about here, and I mean, yeah, duh, you used to live here, still do. Now Snake points the gun at Cabby's neck and wants to know where the president is, so Cabby responds that the Duke has him, the Duke of New York, to be exact, and Cabby tells him that meeting the Duke is impossible for Snake. So Cabby takes him to town hall, or the courthouse, and starts knocking on the door, and tells him that Snake Plissken is here to see Brain. And this woman opens it, and her name's Maggie, Brain's, girlfriend or hooker, played by Adrienne Barbeau.
I want to meet the Duke.
And to get to the Duke, Snake has to meet Brain first. And here they come into this big room, as Cabby excitedly tells Brain that Snake Plissken wants to meet him. Snake does know Brain and his real name, which is Harold Hellman. You know, like the mayonnaise brand, played by Harry Dean Stanton. This actor is everywhere. Another familiar supporting actor. I think he died like in 2020, maybe 2022. Yeah, a lot of guys are dead from the cast list, as far as I know. What's his name? Including the president, Donald Pleasant, is also dead too. And now Snake is pissed off after seeing Harold and is angry that what he's done in the past has affected Snake, which was a job in Kansas, and wants to know where the president is. So Maggie still admits that Brain does have the president and is with the Duke of New York, and is now scared after Snake takes out his gun on him and now tells him where the president is located, as well as the Duke of New York. So the four go and see this Duke of New York as Maggie hears some engine sounds, but Cabby runs away scared, as well as leaving the three to run away. And we see a limo is barely being driven with chandeliers on it, and we see the Duke of New York in the passenger seat, played by Isaac Hayes, you know, that Shaft theme composer and singer. It's weird how I did my few videos ago on Shaft, and here he is coming back as a villain of a movie. And we also see Romero again. Isaac Hayes is also dead too, so pretty much half the cast in this movie is already dead. The only two guys, as far as I know, that have remained alive are Kurt Russell and the director. The other people I don't really know about. And he's like the king of the Night Riders, Isaac Hayes here. Now that Brain is scared to talk to him, as a Duke wants the plans for the bridge, probably the Brooklyn Bridge or some other bridge in New York, and a few other cars have also parked outside of the courthouse, as well as Snake hits one of the drivers on the head and steals a car, and now Snake hits the guy that was sitting on the hood. So Snake drives off after picking up Brain and Maggie, and now Brain tells him to go through Broadway to get to the Duke quicker, and we see this head, probably some famous actor or singer from the 1930s. Now driving right through these rioting Night Raiders, and now even more of them are running towards him, and Snake is getting ready to speed up, well, in reverse. And now Brain tells where the Duke is located as Brain goes to talk to one of the many Night Raiders guarding the Duke, as well as the president being trapped inside the train car. And yeah, he is in there, and the president starts looking at something else. After Brain distracting the Night Raiders, Snake escapes with the president, and Snake is walking with a noticeable limp. And now for some scared shit. So the Night Raiders have captured Snake as well as the president again, while Maggie and Brain are watching the Duke coming out too from the train car. And now the Duke questions Snake as he tugs on the arrow that hit his leg. I don't know why I didn't notice Snake getting hit with an arrow in his leg. And Brain tells him that Snake Plissken and that Hawk sent him, and the Duke has heard of him, but still hits him on the head.
I heard you were dead.
So everyone has heard. So a helicopter has been sent down. Probably Hawk got word that Snake isn't responding, as well as time is running out. So there's about 12 hours left, and Snake is passed out in front of these Night Raiders. So after having that minor argument, Hawk is having a cigarette and yet again sending another rescue helicopter. While Snake can't move, the Duke of New York and his crew are trying to shoot at the president like a dartboard as Brain and Maggie are watching. Brain tells the Duke that Snake has a time limit to rescue the president since the Duke wants to plane for the bridge, just like what's his name, Snake does. And now they take the president somewhere else. So another helicopter has been sent and reports back to Lisk headquarters that there are Night Raiders waiting for help in Central Park. And the Lisk agents have retrieved the president's briefcase. Now Maggie walking in with a gun as Brain is ready to escape New York without telling Snake, with Remy and the Secretary of State. And yeah, the Secretary of State is played by the same actor who did play the nurse in the Psycho Ward from Death Wish 2. The one that let Paul Kersey go near the end of the movie. And now a bunch of Lisk agents are being sent to New York, and now we have about 2 hours left before Snake blows up. And now Snake is being taken to an indoor arena and now steps inside the ring. And now we meet Snake's opponent. I don't know his name. I don't even know the actor's name. Can't find it anywhere. Not even IMDb has the name in that cast list. But and we got the Duke of New York being the ring announcer here, but here they're using bats, not their bodies. So Brain and Maggie are back confronting Romero as he wants to speak to the president. Makes up an excuse that there are cyanide capsules stored in his suit as he's dressed up like a doll here. So back in the ring, we see Snake versus whatever the big guy's name is. Nothing is really happening here as Brain and Maggie escape with the president. And instead of chanting for the big guy, they're now chanting for Snake since he stabbed his opponent in the head. Now Snake has turned on the tracer with only an hour left, or an hour and a half left, as Remy runs to tell Hawk. And his Night Raider announces to all his colleagues that Brain has taken the president. Snake escapes, and now Hawk sends more helicopters and have now traced his location, and now they've lost his location with only 59 minutes left. As Snake has made it to the top of the World Trade Center, and Brain and Maggie are shooting. The Night Raiders have destroyed Snake's plane. And now Snake wants Brain's car, but can't trust him anymore since the last time. And tells Snake that he is the one that could lead him to the briefcase and can read the diagram for the bridge. So the four take the car, and Snake opens up the trunk and sees a Night Raider was hiding in there, and the Duke of New York shows up with all the other Night Raiders, and somehow Cabby is there on time to pick them up. And Cabby's so smart that he even switched the real tape. So he put in the tape and takes it back, and with only 23 minutes left, as Snake is driving quickly, and the Duke of New York is speeding his way there, and Cabby's car is all blown up, and now they all run with Cabby, the only guy dead. As these guys are running, and Brain steps on a landmine and is killed too, and now Maggie's sad, and they have to move since Snake has a very small amount of time left before he gets destroyed. So Snake runs away and leaves her alone as she takes out her gun and starts shooting at the Duke of New York, but she does get killed out of the way by the Duke. And now Remy comes running towards Hawk that he has located Snake, which only leaves him and the president running towards the Station 19 wall. Now the president has grabbed the rope sent by Lisk, and as Snake has less than 2 minutes left, the Duke of New York is close by, and now a fight between Snake and the guy who composed the Shaft theme. As Snake goes back on the rope, it stops, and the president kills the Duke of New York.
Yeah, the Duke! Yeah, the Duke!
Well, he will come back in 2000 when he has to make the new Shaft theme, or an updated version of the Shaft theme. But as the rope has turned on again from this Station 19 wall, since we all know Snake has a bomb in his body, but Hulk requests for the tape first before the bomb is taken or turned off. With only 2 seconds to spare, Snake is safe, and we see the president already getting cleaned up because he has to go live on TV in about 3 minutes. And now the president is thankful that Snake saved him and now offers anything but Snake. But Snake wants a little bit of his time, so he gets 3 minutes as his request, and asks the president how he felt with all the people who died who helped save him from the Night Raiders and the Duke of York. And he has to go on air in 2 minutes, but Snake leaves and walks past Hulk and is still concerned if Snake is still going to kill him.
I'm too tired. Maybe later.
So Hulk has another deal for Snake and tells him that if he joins the Lisk and walks away, I guess he refused, but the president is now on air and is ready to present what is on the tape, and this music plays. So Snake gave Hulk another one of Cabby's music tapes and kept the real one for himself. Since Hulk was given a fake tape from Snake, Hulk gave that fake tape to the president and now is embarrassed. Snake kept the real tape for himself and takes out the reels and throws it away. And that's it, guys. Escape from New York 1981. There is a sequel which came out in 1996, Escape from LA. I've never seen it. Also directed by John Carpenter. There are a lot of movies I've seen where I have not seen the sequel or the rest of the movies in the series. But the plot does sound exactly the same just by reading it online. It just takes place in Los Angeles this time. Nothing big, nothing new, but I'll watch it someday. But yeah, that's it for me today. See you soon in Mr. Majestic from 1974 with Charles Bronson. I haven't done a Charles Bronson movie in quite a while now, so wanted to give some variety, instead of focusing on one thing. Variety of different action movies that I've seen. But like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out my other videos, and take care. See you soon, and watch away.